I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? We kind of ran a little bit late trying to get the fourth wall store up and running for you all tomorrow. And we've been working, me and Alfonso, kind of on stuff for the little bit that we've been doing so we can have that for sure up and running for you all. And getting stuff done. So we kind of had to go back and forth with some stuff, and so apologies for being late, but I appreciate your patience with this girl. But again, we've been doing stuff with the fourth wall store, trying to get it ready to go for tomorrow and launched and everything as far as the new products and the new merch that's coming out. You guys are going to love it, hopefully. And we had to do all that, so we went back and forth, and I still have to have them do a couple things. Again, just so that people understand, when we launch it tomorrow, there's going to be, shirts and some mugs and stuff like that, but we'll be adding products. We're kind of having to help each other. I'm kind of coming up with some designs for him. He's helping me back and forth, and we're really kind of helping each other. And all I can do is do a certain amount on my Chromebook, and he has to kind of help with the rest. So, I'm having a lot of trouble because I have to have Jared look at the computer that we have and see, if we need to update the graphic card. So if we need to update the graphic card on this computer to do it, I can do the front part of the design, and then he has to add the logo to the side of it. So we're kind of helping each other, and so forth and so on. So we'll have the basic stuff. We'll have all the things we kind of have so far available on shirts, some stuff on mugs. Got a garden flag in there and so forth. But we're going to keep building. We're going to keep adding new things and so forth and so on. So I'm excited. And I was watching Alfonso kind of work his little magic, and it was pretty cool to kind of see it. He was fooling around with Photoshop, and I'm like, you know what? I probably would have made it, really enjoyed kind of doing graphic and logo kind of stuff if I had thought about doing that possibly as a career, because it was really fun, and it was really cool to kind of watch him do that kind of stuff, and I was watching him, so I thought it was really cool. So again, hi Indigo. Thank you very much. So anyway, I have to have him. I'm ordering, finally, after all this time, ordering a shirt for myself. I'm so excited. I'm going to be able to order a shirt for me. And I'm really excited to be able to do that because, okay, finally, I get to order a shirt. But it's really cool because I get to order it with the ones with our 3 images on it, our 3 faces on it. And I'm really excited about that. And so, and then I'm ordering a shirt for somebody else I want to get that hopefully I'm going to have the opportunity of meeting. And so once that one is kind of finished, because we put it up, but I wasn't totally thrilled with, when I looked at the renderings of it, I'm like, now we got to change the background of this a little bit. It's just not the right color. So now that I've changed it, I think I'm happy with it. But anyway, we were helping each other. But Fonzo had to go get something to eat. And so those are quick little changes that hopefully won't take much of his time. And I really, really appreciate this. You can get some merchandise. We'll have the store tomorrow. I wouldn't really recommend ordering anything new today. I can show you. See if I can get in here. Just so people saw this, so that people can see. This is our old, for yesterday, this is what I'm going to show. This was on the right was our logo from, for we've had for quite a long period of time. The one on the left is now our new logo. We wanted to keep the same kind of parts that we had, and the person that did it for us that lovingly did it. But it was very frustrating to actually put on merchandise because it wasn't circular, and the crochet hook went off on the side, and it really made it difficult. The one on the left is much easier to put on merchandise, and I think it stands out better. I think that the crochet hook looks much more realistic, and just it all over just stands out so much more. And then let's see, which one did I do? And then this one, just so people can see, I showed people last night. Let's see what this one is. This is going to be, where's this one? We're going to hide this one for right now because I'll need that one tomorrow. Nope, but I will be changing over logos. This is the Mr. Blessed to Crochet logo. We did do a little bit of, yep, we did do, and teal and purple are our colors. We did make a little change to this kind of towards the bottom, but this is the Mr. Blessed to Crochet, Proud of Being You. We also have a tiger with some sunglasses on for the guys, in case they didn't want Mr. Blessed to Crochet. So we have this one for the guys, and then this one is what I'm going to be ordering for the lady, for what I want. And that is going to be the Blessed to Crochet crew. We did, of course, change some things on the towards the bottom. But, yeah, I thought it was really cool. But this is the Blessed to Crochet crew. I'm going to be ordering this in a purple shirt. I'm so excited. With the logo, and you have the choice of choosing the right or left side of the logo, whatever side you want the logo, the Blessed to Crochet logo on. But this is going to be the crew. And then if you don't want our faces on a shirt, you have the chance to do a heart. But I think this really came out cool with all three of us. So I'm going to be ordering this one. And it has taken me a year to figure out this design. I'm telling you, ChatGPT, hands down, has really been hugely helpful. And so that one is something we'll be putting out. And what I'm going to do tonight is take pictures of shirts and stuff so you guys can see them on the shirts and have an idea. And we have several other merchandise. We have the Drama Llama has been updated, adorable. The Proud of Being Me, Proud of Being Me. We have 4 designs for that shirt. We have the Blessed to Crochet logo. We have the Psalms 139:14 verse, which is "You are beautifully and wonderfully made." That's the one he has to kind of correct. And so we've got those so far. And Alfonso has a couple new ones too as well. He put them live, so we'll be showing off those. So again, we're kind of helping each other. And this is where he said to me tonight, and I just wanted to say this. He said, I don't feel like I helped much. I said, Alfonso, you did, because I wouldn't have gotten this far. My Chromebook, my computer, for some reason, up until it's been fine, but for some reason it's telling me that it needs some kind of updated graphic card, and graphic cards can be expensive. My Chromebook gets some of the job done, but not all of it. Like, it will upload the front part of the design, but it won't upload the front part of the design and the design on the side. And so he was able to help me finish doing that part. And then, like, he said to me, you're doing the mugs wrong. I'm like, I am? So apparently I was doing the mugs. I was putting them in the center, and that's not where they're supposed to go. So I learned from him. And this is what, just thinking about, if you're, get with somebody that, I'm good with one thing, he's good with that, and combine your efforts together and help each other. And that's kind of what it's all about. And I'm very grateful. I said, I am so thankful to all of your help. So sorry guys, just a little bit of a little thing. Come together and help each other. And we can do amazing things when we do that, for sure. So let's get into our topic. Kind of was waiting for those notifications to get out there and to, YouTube universe, and let people know that we were live. So, turning everyday moments into legacy. There are designs. These are designed to feel authentic, reflect, and reliability for your audience. And this is everyday life. It doesn't have to be just YouTube, getting on YouTube and all this kind of stuff. It can be just in your everyday life, and creating those opportunities to have some legacy behind it. When people hear the word legacy, they often think it means something big or extraordinary. It does not mean that. Hi, Amby. It can be simple as, sitting with your child or your grandchild and sitting there talking about, a story and continuing the legacy, or in the kitchen with a recipe, continuing the legacy of that. Or I just think of, Christina started watching, Josh and I started watching Wind Calls the Heart. And then Christina got involved with the show and we started watching it together. That was kind of a legacy that continued. And now every season we sit down, on whether she comes over on a Sunday, and we play catch up, and we sit down and we watch that. I think of when my mom and dad, we used to come home from church, and we used to have like a breakfast thing, but we also used to sit down and watch Creatures Great and Small. And that was something that became something of a tradition, a legacy. The way we open our Christmas gifts is a continuing legacy. We open them the same way I was when I was growing up, and it has carried through as a legacy. But legacy isn't built in one moment. It's built in many small ones, right? Little tiny things that you do that become part of your history, your family history, and part of your legacy. Most of what we leave behind is shaped by everyday choices. Absolutely. We make choices every day. We decide how we're going to turn, I'm really sore today, guys, turn things into moments, and precious moments. They do not have to be huge. They can be very small, but they can make quite an impact. Redefining legacy. Legacy isn't about recognition or achievements. It's not. Then sometimes we do things that will carry us many years down the road or make an impact. Like, I didn't realize that the way we opened our Christmas gifts, which was I went under the tree and I got the Christmas gifts, and I would hand them out to I'd hand them one person at a time, and we open our gifts. And we would go through and we'd open them all at once. Not once. We'd watch somebody open them, and then someone else open them, and then someone else open them, right? And what happened was I really started learning the appreciation of exactly what it was like for us to give to other people and watch their reaction. We had spent all this time getting a Christmas gift, looking for a Christmas gift, right? And now it was time to enjoy that person opening that gift. And by doing that, I didn't realize how much of an impact that made. I thought, oh, well, this is kind of maybe the slow way to open things, right? It wasn't. It was just our way of doing it. But it certainly made a difference in my life. And we open Christmas gifts the same exact way. We hand them out and we enjoy watching that other person open the gift. So it wasn't big. It was small, but it made quite an impact to me much later on. Those lanterns that I would spend the time in the garage filling with sand, right? It made huge impact later on, as I think, oh, that was such a precious moment to line all those bags up and light all those bags and see them all through all the cul-de-sacs. And they were just simple little things, but it made a huge impact. It's about people remember, it's about how people remember feeling around you. It's about you. It's not about gifts. It's not about anything. It's about the people that we spend our time with, like we've said to our kids. You know what? It doesn't have to be that we celebrate the holiday on the holiday. It's important that we're here with you. If we have to celebrate Christmas into January, it doesn't matter. It matters the people that we're spending that time with. So it matters about how people are feeling around you. The way you show up, up daily matters more than standing out moments. Are you showing up for yourself? That's the first person we got to show up for. We have to show up for ourselves. And then we got to show up for others. I show up for you guys. Hopefully it matters. I love it. I love this community that we have built for sure. We do something that we did something that has, I guess, turned into a legacy. We read the story of Jesus from the Bible every Christmas morning. And that's absolutely beautiful. My dad did the Christmas story, and he did The Night Before Christmas, which I plan to do with my grandkids. And then he also did the full Christmas story. So he did both. And what a special time. And I sit back remembering him reading The Night Before Christmas and the Christmas story. But he would read both of them. And that was a legacy that certainly continued. And that is a wonderful, wonderful legacy. The way you show up. Oh, we read that. Sorry. Legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's what you leave in people. Man, is that a powerful statement. Legacy is not what you leave behind, it's what you leave in people, right? There are certain parts of me that will always be the aspect of my grandmother, both of them. Patty will always have a little part of my heart, my mother, my dad. All of those people left something inside of me, for sure. And so I think that we have to remember that we are leaving a legacy behind in other people, for sure. The power of everyday moments. The ordinary moments carry the most weight. They do. Sometimes it seems humdrum to do the same thing every day. We got to do this. We got to make the coffee. We got to make the breakfast. We got to do this and that. But sometimes we have to realize that those may be ordinary moments, but we can turn them into spectacular moments, right? We can turn them into things that could be special. You know, if you have to do the laundry, you could just say, find a game to make it fun to do the laundry with your kids. Or if it's time, I know on Sunday morning or Saturday morning, my mother would say, okay, we're all going to get in here, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And if we were home, and we're going to just start picking up. Just give me an hour of pickup. But we turned on the music and we made it fun. If I ever have kids, I want to do it with them. Absolutely. And so we would all turn on fun music and we all clean up. And my mother made it fun, even though it was work. And we can do that for sure. Conversations, routines, shared laughter, and quiet support. You know, we can do and have conversations that have impact no matter how big or small. Laughter. Absolutely. Needs to be in part of our daily life, and sharing that and having routines and having special moments to carry on. I really hope that as I welcome this grandbaby into our family, we for sure get to the opportunity to be able to have such special moments with this grandbaby. And enjoy those moments as they proceed and go forward. And I hope that I can, carry on some legacy as everyday moments, and the quietest of moments to the biggest of moments, I can have an impact on their life. These moments add up over time. I think of all the wonderful moments that I had with my grandfather that is no longer here. Oh, what a special man he was. He was an absolutely special man. Now that people are gone, I have to come to realize the little things I miss most. I miss my grandfather. I miss his laughter. I miss his smile. There's just certain things that I certainly miss that I remember, that I'm so thankful that he was such a part of my life. Showing patience during stressful situations every day. Making time when it feels like life is busy. Being present without distractions. Sometimes we need to put our phones down. They can be, I think, the biggest distraction, uh, you know, that we could think of, that we have in our home. And sometimes these things need to go off. Sometimes they need to go in a drawer. Sometimes they need to just, what it is. I've heard families put them in a basket at dinner time, because their dinner time is where they're having their conversation, and they have a basket. Your phones get turned off. We sit at the dinner table. We have family time and conversation. And here we go. And all the phones go bye-bye. So we have to think of how we can do simple things like that in the busyness of today. And we can do that in the busyness of today. And we have to think of those for sure. So, it may be that you have a Friday night family gathering and you're watching a movie and you're having family time. Maybe the phones need to go in the basket, right? Maybe you just need to say, this is time for family. And sometimes we need to carve that out. That's also building a legacy for yourself and your children, right? Because I'm going to enjoy every moment with this grandbaby, right? And I want to be able to sit, and sometimes I'm going to need to turn the phone off, or I'm going to have to lay it down and just sit there and enjoy every single moment, because this can certainly be a distraction. My grandmother, Judy, passed when I was 12 years old, and I still remember her biscuits. I always remember when I was little and being in the kitchen with her making them. What a wonderful legacy. She took a little moment and turned it in something that just continued on even past the time that she's here, or she's not here, and how special certainly that is. Sorry, guys. Let's see what the next part of it is. Going between two screens right now. Consistency over intensity. Being consistent is very important. Big gestures are memorable, but consistency is transformative. And I think we have to remember that as we're going into 2026, and we talked about we're not making a new you, but we're redefining ourselves, right? We're redefining ourselves and making us better. We have to remember big things. Making big, huge changes don't work. One thing I said to everybody, listen, let's not rush into 2026. Let's just get used to a couple days of doing 2026, and then start taking things and start making little changes. Little bit at a time. Not these whole big thing movements at once, right? Little things at a time. And having that consistency is transformative. Like, I'd like to be able to, hi D-Boss. I like the redefining ourselves. We are spectacular as it is. We don't need to just tear it all down and start all over. We need to add to it. Like, there's a channel called Schoolhouse something, and they're actually in Indiana, and they redid a beautiful schoolhouse. They didn't just come to the schoolhouse and say, well, you know what? We're going to tear this down and start all over. No, they took, thank you, Amby, they took this schoolhouse and they made it a home. They made it absolutely beautiful. They redefined it. At the core, it's still a schoolhouse, but they redefined it. They took some of the same structure elements, the beautiful brick and all that kind of stuff, and they made it better. That's what we need to do. But if we try to do it all at once, guys, we're going to bomb terribly. But we have to remember that consistency really does make transformity. It's kind of like, it's kind of like we have to realize that when we, it's like I need to do the shout outs. And I don't want to be kind of doing like I did before, because it's too much. I want to still be able to do them. They're very important, and I'm very thankful that I can do them, and I love being able to do them and sharing you guys out for sure. And I'm also putting the dog, the bounty hunter hat giveaway link in there too, guys. Check that out. Make sure you have put the keyword if you are participating in that. Share that video out, and for those that have shared, thank you very, very much. But I need to do the shout outs, and what I want to start doing is I want to sit down and say I'm going to do a whole month at a time. On this certain date, right? I'm doing this, and I'm going to sit down and do whole month of January, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to do all the recaps for the month, and then I'd like to be several months ahead. I'd like to be several months ahead on the Connection Hub things for you guys, so that I don't have to think they're done. But I have to start making, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is start really homing in on getting those consistent and making sure that they're consistent. Legacy is shaped by repetition, not perfection. We are not trying to be perfect here, guys. We're not going to be. I don't know about you. This girl's a mess. I'm not perfect. I'm learning every day. And Alfonso, I'm live. Alfonso, I thought I had this on silent. Hold on a second. I got him. Let me message him and let him know. Okay. I let him know. We went back and forth. But again, thank you very much, Alfonso. I was extremely very helpful with the helpful, right? Or with the help with the merch store getting it up and running today. Or at least so it can be launched for tomorrow. So we are, again, repetition, not perfection. We are not perfect. We're never going to be. But again, by doing it over and over and over again, right, you're going to get better at anything you're doing. But again, you're going to leave a legacy. I really think that legacy is kind of something people don't realize is how important it is. And we really create something every solitary day. Small intentions, actions done often matter most, right? If we can call somebody and tell them, hey, you know what, we're thinking of you today, or we can text somebody, or if you still have a parent around or a grandparent around, give them a call more often and sit and talk to them for a little bit. There's going to be a day when you literally cannot pick up that phone anymore and talk to them. I'd love to be able to talk to my aunt. She's gone. I can't do that anymore. So you know what? You've got to sit down and say, these people that are here, there's going to be one day, right, that I have, that they're not going to be here. And I have to be very, very, I have to enjoy the moments, you know, because when they're not here, I can't do that. I can't go back. And so we have to enjoy every moment. The stories people remember. People rarely remember exact words. They remember stories, right? They remember the tone, the kindness, and how safe they felt when you told them. And everyday interactions shape long-term memories. Hi, Alfonso. Thank you very much. And hopefully you got the other ones. I'll have to look on the right, the left sleeve, I think it was. But thank you. I think those images will look a little bit better than, it was too purple background for it. But we have to remember, for instance, my grandmother, there's a teapot, little tiny teapot. It's really for an espresso thing, right? And my grandmother, when I would spend the night every time, she would pull out this little teapot. Now, she didn't put tea in it, but she would put some kind of juice. And we used to sit with these little cups, right? And we would have pretend tea, and I would have a snack before I went to bed, and I thought I was all fancy. And my mother said to me, Mary, you know, you should think about giving away that teapot set because nobody uses it. And it's going to be something that really is for espresso, and you're not somebody that drinks espresso. And I said, no, we're not going to get rid of it. Because I'm looking forward to the day that when my grandchild spends the night, if it's a girl, I can sit with them and do exactly what my grandmother did with me. And she said it one time, and then she said it kind of on and off throughout the years, over the past couple of years. And I said, don't you remember what I said? She goes, no. And she said, I guess because it never happened with me that I remember that. But I so remember every time my grandmother and I sitting down with that little teapot and some juice and literally making such an effort to sit and have that little tea. And what a special memory that was. That was something that she was leaving behind. That teapot is a legacy because I can take that little teapot. I should have brought it in here too. I can take that little teapot set. I can do exactly what my grandmother did. And I can sit there and tell them stories about their great grandmother and how we used to sit with this teapot, her and I, and have pretend tea. And what special memories that I can press on. That little teapot is a legacy, and one day maybe they'll sit with their children and talk about, I sat with my grandmother, and her grandmother sat with her with this little teapot. It's all part of a legacy. Christina, when she got married, we actually asked, we still have family members over in Scotland, and we asked one of the family members if they could send a certain kind of sixpence. And I guess it's a Scottish tradition that in the shoe, I think it's the left shoe of the person getting married, they put a sixpence in that shoe as they're going down the aisle. So, of course, my grandmother came from Scotland, and of course, she's no longer here. But on Christina's wedding day, she had that sixpence in her shoe as she was going down the aisle. And we still have that sixpence that came all the way from Scotland over to here. And one day maybe she'll have a daughter, or she'll have a daughter-in-law that she can pass it on and say, I put this in my shoe and it came all the way from Scotland when I got married to so-and-so's father or your father or what have you, and you can put this in your shoe when you're going down the aisle, and this is something that came from where your great-grandmother lived. And I think that that's just, again, part of those legacy things that we need to, I think, pay more attention of. I really do. So, again, everyday interactions shape long-term memories. Like I said, and you don't necessarily need to know the person. I've told the story about the time we went to Cracker Barrel, and there was an older gentleman and his wife. And first of all, I didn't want to buy the toy because it was a noisy toy. So I didn't want to do that. But Christina really wanted this toy, and they came by and they said, oh, can we buy that toy for her? And I said, no, that's okay. You don't have to. Not only did they buy the toy, but they paid our meal ticket. And we got in the car, and I still remember that gentleman and his wife, and such a sweet that for them to buy this toy and pay for our meal. It was so sweet. And I'm thinking, you know what, that man made a legacy. I don't think we still have the toy anymore, but it was just such a special memory of a random act of kindness towards my daughter and our family, and it still holds in my heart today. Choosing intentions in daily life. Being intentional doesn't require more time. We need to be aware. We just need to be aware. And, being intentional, this channel is at the core of it is a connection, and making sure that we're connected to you all, and we have a place for you guys to come in and connect. And I think to myself, I'd love the chat to go a little bit. I'd like more people in the chat. You guys helping to spread the word is a great help. I think people are missing opportunities when a channel like ours goes live, because I think they're missing, if they can come in here, no matter what we're talking about, what we're crafting, what we're doing, we have the hashtag blessed in the chat. Anybody can put that in and be able to start making connections with other channels and helping other channels grow, right? People that you're not yet connected with. And so I think sometimes we miss that opportunity to be able to have as something. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta check something. As something that we can do. We miss the opportunity. And it's not about just coming into a chat like this and dropping your link. It's about coming into this chat and starting to make some conversations and starting to get to know other channels, you never know what that can lead to. We will be on, just as a little side note, we are going to be on Love Talk with Osa Ravishing and I think it's Boogie Time on Sunday at 6 p.m. So as soon as I get that, I will be posting it on the community tab. I'm very much looking forward to sitting down with those two ladies, of course. But again, there's opportunities for connection and doing things like that, being intentional about making those connections, hitting the connection button, or as we say, subscribe button, right, are so important. Really getting invested in people's lives, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's off of YouTube. I think we need a balance, of course, for sure. Simple choices influences how others experience you. Guys, this is me. I'm nobody else. I'm for sure going to be me. I come on. I don't always put makeup on. Sometimes it hurts to put makeup on. Don't usually. This is about all you're going to get from my hair sometimes. Of course, I don't have much hair. I sometimes just need to be comfortable. Today I'm dealing with some soreness. And so I end up being exactly who I am. And sometimes, it may not be for everybody. But I'm not changing who I am. I'm proud of who I am. It's taken me a long time to certainly get here. And I'm very, very thankful for who God has me to be. That's for sure. And I'm very thankful for all of you. You guys are awesome and rock stars. And D-Boss, if you want to try that again, I know sometimes Nightbot can sometimes be... It can act up sometimes. I don't know why. Sometimes it needs to take a coffee break. It does need to be on a coffee break right now. Just so it does. Get off the coffee break, Nightbot. So you may want to try #blessed again and see if it'll cue in. Simple legacy begins with how you treat people today. And really, honestly, every day. We have to realize, guys, we are making impacts about ourselves when we go out in the world. I often tell this story. I've told this story here, but I'm going to tell it again. I was working as a cashier. Yeah, it worked. It was taking a coffee break for a moment. I was working as a cashier, and it was a car dealership. And I was working as a cashier, and we had a team member. It was back in the back, a mechanic who rode his bike home and didn't make it home. He was on a life support, and we were all praying he was going to pull through. And my boss came through, and I said to him, "How's Michael? How's Mike?" And he just shook his head. And I knew exactly what happened. I started crying. He had left behind about 7 or 8 children. Wonderful gentleman. All the guys look up to him. He wasn't like the top mechanic, but he was up there. And he got in a motorcycle accident on the way home. And so I got myself together. Of course, I was in the cashier window. I got myself together, and 2 people came up and they said to me, "We're just wondering why our car isn't ready yet." "Hi, JC, why our car isn't ready yet?" And I told them, I said, "I'm very sorry." I said, we've had a team member that's just passed away. We just found out. The guys in the back just found out. So I said, they're in the back kind of crying. So I said, "I do apologize for the delay. Give us a few minutes extra. I'll check on your car." So forth. I was trying to be very nice. And he looked dead straight at me and said, "You know what? That's not my problem. I want my car ready now." And there was no, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I understand. I really, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you guys lost a crew member, but I'm really in a hurry and I need to, get my car finished. Can you please check on the status?" No. Not my problem, and I need my car done now. Guess what? I don't know how many years ago was that. That was probably, oh goodness, at least probably 12, 13 years ago, something. It was 2012, 2011, somewhere in there. What is it now? It's 2026. And I have not forgotten that story yet. How impactful was that gentleman that came in? He made such an impact that I have not yet forgotten how rude and inconsiderate he was. Hi, Juan. How rude and inconsiderate he was to find out that we had a family, we were somewhat of a family, team member pass, and there wasn't one bit of sympathy coming out of his mouth whatsoever. He wanted his car, and he wanted it now. Yeah, 14, 15 years ago, and I still remember it. I still remember he just looked at me and said, I don't care about my car. All right, no, I don't, not that. I don't care about that. I don't care about it. It's not my problem. I want my car now. I want my car ready now. And I stood there. I just was sitting there going, excuse me? I probably had the weirdest look on my face. And then I really wanted to tell him where he could go. I mean, I was just like, excuse me, sir, we just found out a team member passed away. And you know what? Could you give a little bit of consideration and understanding for the guys back there that have worked with this gentleman day in and day out? Give them a little bit of time. They just found out that he didn't pull through. But I had to say, sir, I'm really sorry it's taking a little bit longer. I will check on your vehicle and get it to you as soon as we can. I was as nice as I could be, but it wasn't easy. We sometimes don't realize, and it keeps us on our toes, absolutely. I think sometimes we do not realize that we make an impact, we make a legacy to somebody out there. I remember, and I didn't meet this individual, I was on the phone. We ordered pizza from Pizza Hut one night a while back ago. And I said to the lady, it was taking forever to get to this pizza. I think it took like 3 hours to get our pizza. I mean, it was ridiculous. And when we got our pizza, finally at about 11:30 at night, it was cold as you could get it. Horrible. Ended up throwing it in the trash. It was that bad. And they refunded us our money. They gave us another pizza later on. But I called once, and then I called again. It was like I called once, and then an hour later I had to call again. And I said to the lady, I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to be rude here, but this is just a little bit ridiculous. And she just started crying. And she said, ma'am, I'm really sorry. We've had a new computer software, or that they changed their register software. And she said, everybody's learning. I only have 1 or 2 people here. I'm very sorry. She said, please accept our apology. I'll refund your money for the pizza. I'll put in a credit for you to have another pizza. And she said, I'm really, really sorry. And she said, but everybody that has called on the phone during all of this has done nothing but yell at me. Yell. Scream, yell. Done nothing but yell. Right? She said, everybody that has called on this phone has done nothing but yell at me the entire night. Now, I wasn't happy as a customer, but the last thing that lady needed from me was to be yelled at. She didn't need to be yelled at. She absolutely needed to have a little bit of kindness given to her. We can still be frustrated and annoyed, right? But we don't have to sit here and yell at each other or get annoyed or be snippy or whatever it is. And she said, ma'am, thank you so much for calling and talking with me and discussing it with me. And she said, not yelling, because everybody else that has called up has done nothing but scream and yell over this phone at me. Guys, we're making an impact about ourselves, our legacy. These blankets that I'm doing, I'm leaving a legacy behind, right? When I crochet that blanket for that little baby on the way, I'm going to be building a legacy for them. I'm working on, let me see if I can pull it. There we go. I'm working on this one. I received this yarn a while back ago. Let's see if I can pull it from a channel. It's this yarn. Isn't that beautiful? It's this yarn. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? So I'm saving it for this time, and I'm working on this blanket. So it's got some of the yellows, or not yellows. No, not this girl. I don't like yellow. It's got blues and pinks and purples in it. So whether it is a boy or a girl in white, it is going to be something that when I give to my daughter for her baby shower, right, I can say to her, okay, this blanket is for you to use for every baby that you have from this baby forward, whether it's a boy or a girl. Okay? And I know this is a bobble stitch corner to corner. It's now my favorite one to do. Absolutely love it. So now I can say, okay, this blanket is to be used and put away when you have a new baby. Okay? You can use this blanket, whether it's a boy or a girl. And then you hand it off to then the first one of your children that has a baby and starts a whole thing, right? For their children. And they could even pass it around to all the children, right? But still, you hand it to the first one that has a child. And you keep passing it down, right? So what is this going to do? This is leaving a legacy for the first grandbaby to come along. It's for her to use for all of the babies. I wish I had enough yarn to make enough, but I don't think I will. But then, so I of course don't want all the ones that don't get it to feel left out. So I will do a blanket for each one of the children that she has. So again, it's part of building that legacy, and I think that we forget things like that, handcrafted things like that, how valuable and how special they are. So how do I want people to feel when they think of me? I'm telling you, that guy that yelled at me at the Autumn Mall store, I don't know if I never met him again after that, but he didn't certainly leave a legacy in my head of who he was and who he was for sure as a person. What small moments am I overlooking? Gonna go. Okay, there are some videos I want to watch before Netflix. I also wanted to start a granny square blanket for my cousin's first daughter. Oh, that's awesome. But this is a bobble stitch corner to corner. It's now my favorite, absolutely favorite corner to corner to do. I love this, especially for a baby. I absolutely love it. It's my new pattern for Simple Babies blanket, corner to corner bobble stitch. How do you want them to feel? What do you want them to think? I don't know. I can't remember that gentleman's name, but if I did, my first response would be, "You're rude. You're not very nice." It'd be my first thing when I would think of him. What small moments am I overlooking? Are you overlooking some small moments in your life? Especially people to our kids and our grandkids. We have to really be intentional about making sure that we're putting moments in their lives that they can go back and really think about and be able to look at. Where can I be present instead of perfect? None of us are perfect. Let's not try to be perfect. We're not going to be perfect. I don't care what we're doing. We're not going to be perfect. So let's stop trying to be. Let's just be there. Let's be ourselves. The baby is due in March. I'm hoping the baby will be born Nana's birthday. Oh, that's awesome. So again, it's kind of like why, and I want everybody to understand tomorrow is not just, we have new merch out. We're trying to sell the new merch. We'd love for you all to go and purchase some, but that's not the core of it. Okay? It is not the core of it. The core of it is going to be this. We want everybody to look at the new merch. We hope they love it. We're going to be adding new things, of course. We want your input on designs and sayings and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing about it. I want really people to hone in to that one saying, right? The one little idea, right? That says this. I want you guys to get that. I don't care if you get a shirt or not. If you want to, it's there. If you want to get the one without our faces and get the heart, it doesn't matter. If you want Mr. Bus to crochet or the tiger, that's fine. The point of it is, I want you all to embrace this saying and realize that you are one of a kind. You cannot be anybody else, and one of a kinds cannot compare themselves to anybody else. So let's stop trying. It's so true. Nobody can be like me. Everybody else is taken. So if you can look at that and be able to say, this is what I want to embrace. Absolutely 100% that's what we should be doing. Okay? And that is why we're going to be talking about the new merch. We're going to be showing it tomorrow, right? But we're absolutely going to be diving into this Be Proud of Being You. We want to get the 2026 off to the right start and get people to embrace that. If you can embrace that, I'm going to be me. There's going to be people in this world that like me or not, and totally 100% embrace it. That's what the point of it is. That's the whole point. Stop trying to be anybody else. You can't. I wish I had longer hair. It'd be nice if I had thicker hair. It's not going to happen. Right? I wish I was... There's certain things I can't change about me. I just have to go ahead and accept it. You don't need a platform or a title to leave a legacy. We talked about it yesterday. About exactly... Intrigues me. Now, you all are here. Put a 1 in the chat if you all want to see that. I will show you the tiger one tonight. I'm going to keep one of them a surprise. I'm keeping the llama a surprise. You're all not going to get that out of me. If you want to see the tiger one, I'll show you the tiger one. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see the tiger. I'll show it, but you got to put me some 1s in there. Absolutely one. But again, we talked about it last night, how you don't really need to have, okay? You don't really need to have a channel. You can do it without having a channel. I'm going to make a separate channel. It's going to be Yaya something. I'm not going to tell y'all what it is. I'm going to make a lot of content over there unlisted. I put things like my daughter's growing baby bump. If she puts a picture of her baby bump on her Facebook, that's her to do. I'm not. But I'd like to put it in some kind of video for my grandbaby. I'd like to be able to put all of the announcements of us telling, her telling us, her telling her, her great grandmother, us telling the other side of the family, all in one thing. And the reason why is because it would be nice. I can make it all unlisted. I don't have to make it listed. I can make it all unlisted. Hi, Faith and Tackle. Did you see? I put up the dog. You got to go check out the dog, the bounty hunter. It's right on the videos. And just so everybody knows, I am not going to be doing much of... I'm not going to be adding many... Give me a minute. I'm not going to be adding... That's that one, right? Yeah. I'm not going to be adding much of any kind of video for a couple weeks because I don't want to bury that. But we will finish the Advent. We will finish the Advent. And if anybody can share the dog, the bounty hunter, and hype it up for us, that would be great. The giveaway video. But I'm not going to be putting a lot of video content, but we will finish the rest of the we're going to finish the rest of the Advent series, which is going to take a little bit. So there's the tiger one. What do you think? But who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. Absolutely. So that is the tiger. And we got, of course, the Mr. Blessed to Crochet, but that's the tiger one. And Josh loves tigers. His favorite is Bengal tigers, so that's why I chose a tiger. So hopefully you like it. You'll have to let me know if you like it or not. Hopefully you like it. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm tired. Hopefully you like it. It's built in quiet. It's built quietly over time. In ordinary moments. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like we changed so that this kind of thing, this little edge comes, and it's just really cool. Yeah. I'm glad. That's the tiger. See, people that stick around can see it. I am proof that you can overcome dark and difficult times. God took me away from my skid row to serving him. Amen. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So it's built quietly over time in ordinary moments. We have to remember they don't need to be big deal moments. They just have to be ordinary. What you do matters more than what you plan for someday. So again, what you do really matters. Making those impacts. And you can hit hashtag blessed in the chat if you like anybody to connect with your channel. Making those impacts really honestly do make a difference. They make a difference in your everyday life. Your legacy is already being written, one everyday moment at a time. Oh, do I love that. I may have to make a shirt out of that. What do y'all think? What do you think about that? That may need a shirt. Your legacy is already being written, one everyday moment at a time. I think that we forget that. I truly think that we forget that our legacy is being made in front of us every day, every moment, every choice that we're making with our friends, our family, our children, our grandchildren. We're making a legacy as we're doing things. We're making a legacy for ourselves as we're going out there. We do not need to be rich and famous. We can do it in our own backyard. I've absolutely 100%. I think I'm gonna need a shirt out of that one. I think for sure we have to remember, I've said for those people that maybe say, well, I really feel like I could serve on the mission field. Guys, we have a mission field right in our backyard. Maybe a little snowy outside depending on where you live, but we have a mission field right in our own communities. We've got people that may not have fathers in the home and they need a father. They feel like they need a big brother or a big sister. We have mission fields right in our own yard. The lady who comes and walks Mocha every day, right, for us, she is doing such an amazing thing for us because we can't always do it. We can't run with Mocha like she needs. And so she comes every day that she can and walks with her. What an amazing service that she's doing for us. She's not asking for anything from us. She's doing it because she wants to serve and because she likes Mocha. And guys, what we got from Mocha really came out cute, I may add, right? Yes, absolutely. You absolutely can. So, again, I just wanted people to think you really can leave a legacy behind whether it's putting things together and building a channel, and at the core of it realizing I'm leaving a legacy for my future children, future children, your grandchildren, and so forth. Whether it is content, you're building a channel, you're monetized, whether or not you are doing doing the whole route of that, or whether you're putting everything unlisted, and like I'm going to do on another channel. If we really remember, all of us have channels on YouTube. Some have content, some don't. Mr. Blessed to Crochet has no content. But I still put up things unlisted or private that I wanted to make sure that in several channels I have the same content here as there if I need to pull it up again. Something happens to this, I can pull it. When I uploaded Dog the Bounty Hunter giveaway, I put it on 3 other channels and I put it private. So if I needed to pull it down for any reason, I had storage at 3 other places. I know that's not the greatest storage. I understand that. But at least it was there. But we have to remember we're making impacts every day in our daily life. We're making it with the people that are around us. We're making it for the children that are around us, the grandchildren that are around us. And it's the simplest things. It's taking a little teapot that was supposed to be an espresso pot. Hey, Memories, how you doing? Happy New Year. You know, it's taking that little teapot that my grandmother had, right? And it's taking that little teapot that she used to do, and we used to sit down, and it was meant for an espresso little teapot, right? It was to pour espresso in. It wasn't meant for the purposes of putting juice in it or tea later on. But she doesn't know how special she made me feel by sitting down and having a snack and having these little teacups. I felt so grown up when I was 7 or 8 or 9. And when my mother wanted to think about saying, you should go, see if you can have somebody purchase that little teapot. We're not getting rid of that teapot. I want to sit with my grandchildren one time at the table having a tea party, just like my grandmother did. She didn't realize she made an impact and a legacy with the little teapot that wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be there, but it was supposed to be used as an espresso little thing. What about the time we used to get together and put all those little lanterns with the sand all over, right? All over the cul-de-sac. And we used to have Christmas Eve, and she made octolemical soup, which I couldn't touch because I was what was it? I can't think of it. I was allergic to egg whites, so I couldn't touch it. But I was able to have whatever I wanted. Chinese food, pizza, whatever I felt like having, that's what I was able to have. And I hope, hi Carmen, I'm hoping to be able to do little things that I can really make an impact with this child that's on the way in our family with my daughter. And so it really says we can make it within our own communities. We can make it on YouTube. We can really, well, that's good. I'm glad you got your channel back. We can really make an impact. And it's just doing the littlest things. It really is. It doesn't have to be these huge things. It can really be these little things. And if we start realizing, guys, we're leaving our footprint every day of our lives. How you doing it? What you're seeing? You know, my that service that we went to for my son-in-law's family member. One day, maybe that guest book will be shown to my grandchildren, and they'll say, you know what, my grandmother was there. She decided to come and love my mother and my dad's family that day. She was there because my signature is there. My freshman year in high school, we had Boston Tea Party in our history class. We would dump large bag of tea over the rail from the second floor. Oh my goodness. Yes, we are. What do our footprints look like? I don't know. I think our footprints look sometimes big and small. I think that we forget The importance of maybe making comments on short videos or videos, because those are all part of leaving our footprints. When people come back, they're going to look and say, hey, let me go check out this channel. By making comments, I try at all possible to make sure that I'm going back and I'm answering the comments. Sometimes it takes me a little bit, guys, but it's still leaving a footprint for somebody. That's why we're doing the hubs, the connection hubs on both of our channels. It's for you to leave your footprint there. We're leaving our footprints in little spaces. Sometimes they're big and sometimes they're small, but they're still impactful. Patty left a footprint. My aunt, of course, we're not able, Christina likes, she's had it with all of her dogs. So just a trigger warning, had some of their ashes put in a necklace. And with my dad, she wanted a necklace with his ashes. And we weren't able to get any of Patty's ashes. So I reached out to a friend who grew up with Patty, and I said, can you do me a favor and go to the Daytona Beach area? She lives in Daytona Beach. And would you please do me the favor of picking up some sand? So she took a video of her and explaining that her and Patty used to come down to this specific area, down where my grandmother lived, by the beach. I just got the sand today, and we had ordered some necklaces through Amazon to put this little sand in. And it's a cross with like a shell print on it. And so not only am I going to be able to fill one of the necklaces, I gave one of the necklaces to Christina for Christmas, and I'm going to put some sand in it. Now I know that she'd like to have, and of course my aunt was, but her daughter has the ashes, and we're not going to ask her daughter to send any. But we're going to put sand in those necklaces instead. And I said to my daughter, there's a little part of Daytona Beach. That's where my dad did some of his growing up, where my aunt was born, and my aunt loved the beach. Beach was part of her DNA, was the beach and the sand. She loved the beach. That was her happy place. So I said, even though this isn't her ashes, you're getting a piece of her in this cross. You're getting a piece of where, I came back and we went to the beach. My daughter walked on that beach. I spent time on Daytona Beach because my grandmother lived in Daytona. So I said, there's history there. There's our history there. So even though I wasn't able to do what she would have liked to do, which was to get some of Patty's ashes, I was able to do the next best thing. So one of the crosses is going to be put away. And maybe down the road, this grandchild or maybe another one will want to have that, because in that necklace will be part of our history. It's part of a legacy. Because my aunt absolutely loved the beach. Hi, Wills. How are you? My aunt absolutely loved the beach. And so it's a part of it. I'm doing the best I can with what I have, but I'm still making a legacy. And I think that we forget those little things. It's like noodle pudding. My daughter's like, that has to be on the table for Christmas every day, or every Christmas. And it's like, it's not Christmas unless noodle pudding is on the table and the recipe's on the channel. It's leaving a legacy. When we went and met Dog the Bounty Hunter, she got a game signed by him, and we covered the names up with tape just to protect them. It's going... Oh, thank you very much, Will. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that tremendously. So, we have to realize that, it's just part of it. It's part of what we're doing. We're leaving a legacy in the simplest things we're doing every day, guys. And you all make a tremendous difference, and we appreciate it. Oh, Wills, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. My mother will definitely appreciate that. Thank you for your support. He has a great channel, guys. I don't know how he gets when you need a little bit of your music, he certainly gets you going. That is for sure. And I appreciate that tremendously. So go over, please, and support him. I would appreciate you doing that. I love that. Oh, dancing. But we're leaving a legacy, guys, and we can do it every day in the smallest of moments. And it really, really makes a difference. So I hope tomorrow, as you all have gotten to see a little bit of the merchandise that we're coming out with, I will take suggestions of any kind. Fonzo's got some cool ones coming up. Christina, we've got one for her that she, let me see if I can show it, that she's going to come out. We got one for her, new one for her channel. I don't know if y'all can see it. Maybe you can't with all the lights. Let me see if I can turn the phone down for a minute. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me turn it this way. That's one of her new logos. Cosplay begin. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I try. So that's one of her new logos. If you guys are struggling with logos, and you just kind of need ideas, first thing I would tell you to do, go into ChatGPT and absolutely put in your ideas and ask for it to come out with logos. It did another one for Alfonso. He has a couple ones that we've done. Also, if you need help to make those logos be able to go on a fourth wall store, we have a fourth wall store. I don't know what I forgot what the code is. I think it's merch. But you won't find, I wouldn't suggest ordering, but if you all need it, there's, I think, will that come up? I can't remember. I got to go back and look at that. But yes, that's our merch store. But we also have, if you need a referral code, we can get you a referral code over for Fourth Wall. But again, go into ChatGPT and come up with some really cool logos and stuff and suggestions and so forth. And I've been really impressed. Like I said, I've been fooling around a little bit with just trying to figure out the Proud of Being Me, and I was able to put it in, and it came up like, that's exactly what I was thinking. And it actually went above and beyond. We did our cartoon thing with my mom and I for our channel banner under ChatGPT, and it's becoming helpful and becoming help to me and taking some things off my plate. I made that great thumbnail for Dog the Bounty Hunter from ChatGPT, and so can be a great help and assistance, honestly. And so if anybody's kind of struggling along that line, I'd certainly look into that as a help. So tomorrow night, join us as we look at the new stuff. We're going to change the logo. We're going to say last night, because you'll see it on the screen up here, bye-bye logo. We loved you, but on to better and better things. The avatar for us will not change. I really think that it helps to make this channel much more personable, to have my mom and myself and Christina on the logo and such a special picture. So the avatar is not going to change. We're not going to change that. We love that too much. You get to see our faces when you come to our channel. So that's what we want. And that is certainly the Blessed to Crochet crew. But we'll be changing the logo, so we'll be changing it on here, but you can say goodbye. I actually took down all of the stuff. I wouldn't really even order there's still Blessed to Crochet, or no, Blessed Disco Ball stuff on there. I wouldn't even bother ordering that because it has the old logo. We have to go and then change all that, but there's so much we could do, but we'll be adding more, I promise you all. We'll be adding things and modifying things and changing things and doing all the kind of stuff. But at least for the most part, it's good of it. It's enough of it up, and I'm excited. And I'm going to get off here and order my shirt in a minute. So I'm excited for it. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to thank our members. It's not expected, but it is certainly appreciated. So we're going to take a moment and do a little bit of stretching and dancing and rocking and getting to see Elvis for a second.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Thank you very much.
So with that being said, we're going to head off here for tonight. I'm going to go actually just get ready. I've just ready for bed. I've just kind of taken it easy the past couple of days. I'm going to get back to the swing of things on Monday. I am going to do a short tomorrow to show off the bounty hunter, Dog the Bounty Hunter video so that people can see it in a short form as far as advertising for it. And I'm going to put out the frost guards too. I know I've been promising that, but that's going out. And I'll start the shout outs on Monday. The hubs are up for both channels, and then we'll start Blessings to the Connection next week for sure. So with that being said, thank you all for being here, all your support. Thank you for members and becoming a member if you did. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate that. Thank you for just being here, whether you were able to do any of that or not. You guys are important to us no matter what. You all are the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet. So we have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. And come tomorrow to see some of the new merchandise and be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. Let's dive into that a little bit tomorrow. Let's really go into 2026 embracing that and loving you because you guys are pretty spectacular just the way you are. We're just always trying to improve and learn, and we can help each other so much, and that certainly got shown tonight. And thank you, Alfonso, for really helping us tremendously. And that's what teamwork is, and that's what friendship is. We help each other. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow, and bye-bye for now.
So proud of being